Hello. I thought today it might be quite interesting to talk a little bit about Doctor Who. I remember way back when I was a very small child and hiding behind the sofa, and one of the first Dalek stories, they took the top off the Dalek, and there was a sort of mutant thing inside with a claw, and Ian, Susan and Barbara, so I think Ian actually got inside the Dalek casing, was able to move around pretending to be a Dalek. I am a Dalek, you see. He was able to do this and actually win the day. And then later on, I think Tom Baker discovered something about Daleks, or John Pertwee, I don't remember. And so this idea that the Daleks were mutants, at one point I think the Daleks were sort of mutant humans. Davros was playing around with their DNA. So there we are. Now, later on in the rebrand of Doctor Who, I'm not really sure what the Daleks are, but I'm sure you will be able to tell me exactly what the link is with the Daleks and their casing. We've just had news today about Priti Patel, and you know what I think of Priti Patel. But Priti Patel has now got a new policy, yet another new policy. Well, this isn't new at all. This, again, is somebody else's policy that she's got from somewhere else, Lord Grossman or somebody, I don't know who it is. Anyway, it's basically, she's claiming that she's going to stop animal testing. Well, that's not likely to happen. It's a really good idea. I'd be behind it if it were to happen, but it's not. And when you look at the wording of what she's actually saying, there's not very much substance there. It's another headline-grabbing thing to try and pull attention away from the fact that the police have said they have no confidence in her. So let's not forget why she's getting back on the front page of the newspapers. It's a way of pulling focus away from what someone else already said. The only reason she should be on the front page of the newspapers is with a resignation. Now, what about animal testing? Mice, as we know, share about 98% of their DNA with us. And a lot of, this is why a lot of medical experiments take place on small animals, small rodents, Mickey Mouse basically, because small animals share all our diseases: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, weight loss, weight gain, obesity and so on, and they've got shorter lives, so we can study what happens to them over that shorter period of time. The area where we need to be really concerned are where sort of the law gets involved, and the law tells us that we've got to do animal testing before we can distribute particular medicines and particular drugs, particularly when it comes to cosmetics. So completely irrelevant things, we are then subjecting animals, rabbits, mice, monkeys and so on, to really quite nasty tests for cosmetics. This makes no sense at all. But there are other areas where animal testing seems perfectly prudent. Ideally, we don't do it. But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be any choice. So, what Priti Patel is talking about is cell cultures and doing things so basically on paper. Well, there's a limit to what you can do on paper and with cell cultures, and she hasn't worked this out. Instead, we need to think of the four R's with animal testing: replace, refine, reduce, and be responsible. These are the four R's that should govern animal testing. And ideally, we reduce animal testing to the point where it doesn't exist. But a headline grasping Patel is not the way forward. This is going to achieve nothing. And if we are in any way deceived into thinking that Priti Patel's headline means anything, then look at the other headline, which has come bumbling out today. Boris has got a crime-beating plan. And he's going to give every victim of crime a named officer to call who's going to be personally responsible. Well, what happened when that named officer has been pinged and therefore can't go into work? it makes no sense. He also says that the police are going to be targeting drugs and truancy. Are they not already? So the chairman of the Metropolitan Police has already come out and said this is unworkable. It's a gimmick and it's not practical. And then Boris has said, we're backing the police all the way. And this chairman of the Met has said, no, he's not backing us all the way. He's treating us in a derisory manner, and so is she. I sound a bit like I sound a bit like Frankie Howard. I blame her. I blame her. But no, really, Priti Patel just needs to go. It's time for the self-extermination of the Dalek. It's I must go. I must go. I must go. I have had enough. I have had enough. I will be exterminated. I will be exterminated. Exterminated. I've gone. Bye-bye. See you later.